Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I'm looking at this. I believe I forgot to remove the money for the testing purpose in the last episode, so let's just go ahead and hop into here and just take that on out of there. This is the correct amount that we're supposed to have right now. So that looks good. Of course, that money was just added so that we could do some ladder simulations. We at this point need to get ourselves some money so that we are able to launch our Ascent module. And the question is, how exactly do we want to do that, and how much money do we need? Well, we need our Ascent module, which costs 521,000 to launch. Okay. That's an expensive one. There's no doubt about that. However, we're going to hop out of here, and let's take a look at our contracts, what we have right now. I think we're going to have to go to the moon in order to make some money. This is interesting, isn't it? I thought for sure we grabbed this one. Maybe we didn't, and we're just talking about it. But let's grab land flag on the moon. How much is that going to pay when we complete it? 126,000. I think with the cost of the launch, that's probably going to be not quite enough. Although, hang on, it might be enough because we would get, well, that would be another 3,000. It's gonna be really close. It's going to be really, really close. We can use this as an opportunity to get our new Kerbals some experience, however. And that, I think, is something that is definitely reasonably worthwhile. So let's hop into the VAB. Both of our pilots are very experienced, and this is just going to be a quick hop over to the moon, do what we need to do, and come on back. So let's go ahead and open up, let's see here. That's the science module. I don't think that's what we want. I think we want something like this guy? No, this is an orbiter. What do we use as our lander? Ah. This is what we used as our lander. Yeah, this'll do the trick. What is this up here? This is a poodle? Okay. Yeah, this'll do it. This'll do it. For sure. This will get us to the moon and back. So we can definitely utilize this, and we're going to be bringing in this, not Valentina, but rather Jamie and Sondon. Now this bug is still here, but that's only a visual bug, and that's completely fine. Our staging should be good, but let's go ahead and double check it. We fire all of these at once. That is a thrust to weight of 1.74, which seems a little on the high side. If we do that, it's slightly low, so we're probably just going to want to throttle down our mainsail, in all honesty. And then these boosters fall off, and then our center core does, and the poodle fires, and then our nose cones explode on the side of this, if I recall correctly. It's completely fine. And then our maneuvering stage falls off, and we land, and then that ejects, as do these side bits, and then the capsule comes on down. Okay, so what is the cost of launching this guy? About 100k. So this is going to eat up the majority of our profits. Let's go ahead and save this and head on back. I would like to find an additional moon mission, although I feel like those are going to be fairly rare these days. Oh, hello, we're in 4K. The interface isn't scaling appropriately. We'll just set that back. Perfect. That problem should be fixed fairly soon. So that is good. And by fairly soon, I mean hopefully within the next couple weeks. We'll see. Okay, so that's all of the ones we've completed. We need to plant a flag on the moon. A new orbital station on a solar orbit. That is something that we need to do. But that will take up quite a number of Kerbals. So there is that. I want to get all this Eve stuff done first, before we work on that, ideally. Especially since we're so close on that. We are so close. Science data from space around Gilly is another one that I want to work on. So I think we'll go back to the moon really fast here. Let's just do that now, get that contract out of the way. We will get a fair amount of our cost back, because we will be able to get our science equipment and things like that. So that is perfectly fine. We're going to try to recover as much as we can. We're back in 4K. Let's fix that. There we go. And let's just go ahead and launch this. Let's double check that the crew is correct. They are. That is perfect. Off we go. So this will be a chance to get our new Kerbals some experience before they're sent off to Eve, and that will definitely be a good thing. But we've got good old Jeb here piloting this, and it should be fine. Let's just make our way to the moon real quick. We don't need to do any science there. This is just for our contract. Let's double check that we don't need anything particular for that contract. Just plant a flag on the moon. Okay, good to know. Off we go. Wait, actually, I want to throttle this down a little bit to start with, down to like 2/3. And there we go. And we're just going to keep this at around a 1.6 thrust to weight ratio. So we're going to continually throttle this down a little bit. Excellent. And we definitely need to start heading on over here. And in the meantime, we're going to continually throttle on down. We're burning very, very little in terms of our actual liquid fuel right now. In fact, we are completely off on our liquid fuel engine right now, and our thrust to weight is plenty high. So we're going to let our SRBs burn off here as we approach our... not our apoapsis point, I don't know why I was going to say that, but as we approach our prograde marker, I do want to get a little bit higher before we continue here. So that'll be fine. At about 3 seconds left on this burn, we will throttle up our mainsail. We barely burned any fuel thus far on that. And I was a little late on that, but there's our successful separation. Fantastic. We're going to sit at about 45 degrees for the time being. I'm just watching our apoapsis height, which isn't tremendously high right now. So I want that apoapsis height to increase. That will be for the best. And we'll just hold it right around here for now. Just continuing to head on over and get more and more horizontal speed as our time to apoapsis is increasing. Okay, we'll just hold on the prograde marker at this point. And now we'll burn until our apoapsis is, I don't know, maybe like 85 kilometers. That shouldn't be too much longer as we're starting to get more and more thrust to weight here and getting more and more efficient in the engine. Man, we have a lot of thrust to weight here, or rather delta V here. Thrust to weight, okay. One of those days, perhaps? We'll find out. So the next thing that we want to fire is going to be the nose cones. So we'll go ahead and move those on down. We are not quite high enough on our apoapsis, so we're going to continue pushing that out for a little while here. 85 kilometers is what I'm targeting for that. Okay. Nose cones should be next, and indeed they are. Kaboom! As expected. Okay, and now we are going to grab ourselves an orbital velocity. Fantastic. Jeb is not capable of locking to the maneuver node. That vaguely surprises me. That does, however, tell me that we definitely need a KER on our ascent module. So that is good to know. Or maybe not even a KER, but like an ability to lock to the maneuver node would be awful nice. Okay, we're overshooting this a little bit, but I'm pulling it on back. This is only T-minus 10 seconds in theory. We'll see once we hit the vacuum, which is now. Okay, T-minus 9.5 seconds. Sounds good. So we are going to go ahead and warp towards T-minus 9.5 seconds. There we go. And we'll just burn the rest of this out as we... work on circularization. And we will stop our warp right around now. And we'll be on stability assist. And we'll burn this now. Excellent. In fact, let's just move it over to prograde. It's basically prograde. Wonderful. And off we go. And good enough. We are in orbit. Perfect. So we will head off to the moon, I don't know, somewhere around here. How's that looking? Yeah, that looks fine. And we'll just bring this encounter on in. Yeah, something a bit more like that. And have it come in, I don't know, around 60 kilometers? That seems good to me. Perfect. So, of course, we're not going to be able to burn that with this whole apparatus for right now. But that's fine. We will make our way around over to the maneuver node. And that will, of course, be in about 11 minutes. So we'll just get ready for that. And we are going to warp towards the maneuver node here in a moment. There we go. And off we go. We didn't quite nail it, but that's fine. We'll just be heading directly to the prograde marker. And this is going to be 30 seconds plus 19 seconds. So T-minus 49 seconds is when we want to burn this. We'll go ahead and warp towards it. Okay, and we will burn this now. We didn't have much left in that stage, but that's fine. And we'll just hold on this maneuver node for the time being. Excellent. So this is going to be a relatively lengthy burn since we've got the old poodle here. What do we got inside of here? That's a terrier? Okay. Good to know. We do have the solar panels up here, but I don't think they're currently functional. That said, I do believe there's an alternator on the poodle. Yes, indeed there is. Excellent. So off we go to the moon. And this will be about another 50 seconds left in this burn. For the sake of time, let's just go ahead and physics warp it. Excellent. And we'll come out of that physics warp and chase the node for a little bit here. And let's just see what this orbit is ending up looking like. Yeah, we can bring it in a little further. And that is good enough. Once we're at this periapsis, of course, we're going to do a retrograde burn, and we're just going to bring that down to be something like this. Fantastic. And we'll warp to that maneuver. This will, of course, be pure retrograde. Here we come, moon. Fantastic. So we are, of course, just trying to get this done as quick as we can here. We're not likely to get any science here, so that is definitely something to consider. And this is going to be a 31-second burn, so at T-minus 15.5 seconds. Let's go ahead and orient for that and warp on over. So we will burn this right now. We have more than enough Delta V in this tank to do the landing on this tank, and honestly, I'm kind of thinking about doing it. Try to recover as much as we can. Yeah, I think we may as well. I mean, we're not going to be able to recover this tank and engine, I don't think, but maybe we could, actually. There's a small possibility. Okay. I'm going to call that good enough. And then we're going to warp around to here and see what things are looking like as we get in over here. I mean, we could land at the experiment control station. Just say hi. Or we could land a little ways away from it, like in this crater or basically anywhere we haven't been. I don't know if we've landed in this crater yet, so maybe that's what we should do. Something along the lines of this, because the crater will rotate underneath us in this amount of time. So we'll go ahead and warp to that maneuver. That will, of course, be a pure retrograde burn. And we are going to want to burn this once again at T-minus 16.5 seconds. So we'll warp on towards that marker. Okay, we'll burn it about now. This is good enough. And we are on descent. Fantastic. So we'll see how much fuel we actually have available here. This is a bit overbuilt. But we should be able to land on this. Absolutely no problem. We're going to go to surface retrograde here. And at this point, I kind of like where we're looking at landing. This looks okay to me. As long as we don't land in here anyway. That would be the unfortunate thing. Let's just go ahead and bring this on down. I'm just going to go into stability assist here. And we're looking to kill our horizontal speed. Good enough. And let's flip it on back to surface retrograde. We have about 2 minutes on our suicide burn, allegedly. Let's go ahead and warp on forward. 16 minutes, what? Oh, that's weird. When you time warp it, it looks completely different. Look at that. KER just had an update to the latest version of the game. I'm wondering if that's a bug related to that update. I don't remember seeing that before. That's spicy, to be sure. Okay, we're going to want to burn this probably pretty soon here. Impact time. Yeah, we definitely want to burn this like right now. Well, not right now, but we want to burn it for a while anyway. Yeah, this looks like this is completely messed up. I think that we should not trust KER on suicide burns for a little while. Maybe let them patch that out a little bit. So we are currently about 5 kilometers above the surface. Let's slow our speed down to about 50 meters per second. This is a good rule of thumb that I like to go by, 10 meters per second per kilometer above the surface that you are. So let's bring this down at this point to somewhere around 40 kilometers. This is not an efficient way to land, by the way. The suicide burn is the way to go if you're trying to land in an efficient manner. But we have plenty of delta V here, and I'm not concerned. I'm actually going to hold off on this, though, for a little bit until we are about 2 kilometers above the surface because of the speed at which we were able to reduce our speed. So we're 3 kilometers up right now. And we are about to be 2 kilometers up. We do have a KER on here. That's true. And let's just go ahead and begin burning this down. Okay. So we're about 1 kilometer up right now. Well, 1.5. Let's be honest. Going to be 1 kilometer in a moment. 1 kilometer now. And let's go ahead and slow ourselves down a bit. Just a quick slow down burn. Gonna bring it down to around 10 meters per second and just slowly decelerate a little bit here. I want to be a little slower than this. 15 meters per second. Okay. We're 400 meters up right now. Yeah, this is looking good. 300 meters up. I'm going to accelerate our deceleration, if that makes any sense whatsoever. We're going to go into stability assist. 200 meters up. And I dropped our thrust for a little bit there. 100 meters up. And let's continue to decelerate here. There we go. This should be good. In theory. And hopefully we won't tip over. I'd be very sad if we tipped over. How flat is this? Not tremendously, is the answer. We're tipping over. Okay. Let's hop this and head on over to, say, there. Okay. So we're going to hop over to this area over here, and we are going to burn off the remainder of this before we come down. And yeah, we're in a sort of awkward flip right now. That's to be expected. We're definitely going to burn off the remainder of this fuel on our descent here, and we will detach this. I was hoping that we'd be able to use this for ascent, but no such luck here, I think. So let's just go ahead and burn this off. Something along the lines of that. And let's bring this on down. We are going to need to extend our landing legs. Well, we get some seismic data from that. That's something, eh? And we need our stability assist off, please. Thank you. And down we go. Good enough. Okay. We'll call that good. SAS off. Not sure why we're sitting like this, but okay. Apparently we do have science we can grab here. And so we definitely will. Grab everything that we can. Grab that one as well. And our materials study. Perfect. And we'll extend our ladder on out. We will send Jamie out for an EVA. We're going to grab an EVA report and a surface sample. And we're going to hop back in. We're going to store everything that we can up in the experiment storage unit. And then Jamie is going to hop back out again and is going to climb down and do some resetting here. We're going to restore the Science Junior, and we're going to restore... Surely we have a mystery goo in here. We do, we just can't quite reach it from where we are. There we go. We're going to restore the mystery goo containment unit, grab another surface sample, and then we're going to go up. And then we're going to hop in and store those. We're going to grab everything here. Fantastic. And then Jamie's going to hop out again. And we're going to come down and we're going to grab the data from the Science Junior. And we're going to restore that. And then we're going to grab the data from the containment unit and restore that. And up we go. And we will store all of that in our re-entry module. And then Jamie is going to hop out one more time. Or actually, no, we can just grab it here and here. Perfect. And we might actually be able to do the same with the seismic scan. Let's hop down and see about that. Yeah, take that data. And then we can just close the doors from the Science Junior. And now we can grab the data from the science scan, or from the seismic scan, one more time. Perfect. We'll close this, and then Jamie will hop out again. And is going to head over and just set up a flag right here. That'll complete our contract. But we also want our engineer to get some experience. So, I don't care about what this is going to say, honestly. So, we're going to head back with Jamie. Impacted that a little fast, but all is good. Can we go up, Jamie? Thank you. Okay, so Jamie is going to head back in. Fantastic. And we're going to have Sondin hop out to grab some XP. And there we go. Away goes Sondin. We'll just do something like this. He is going to take down this flag and plant one of his own. Perfect. Good job, Sondin. And then actually I'm going to take this down too. I don't want to I don't necessarily need to keep a record of this location, so we'll just not have that flag stay there. Okay, Sondon. Up you go. Fantastic. And then we'll have him hop in. And then one more thing for Jamie is that we can grab, I think anyway, we can grab one of these. Now we need somewhere to put this. Ah. That's slightly problematic then. To be sure. You can only carry one of these, I guess. Yeah, the weight would be too high. Not if we ditch this, but we have nowhere to put it. Nowhere at all to put it. You know what? I don't think we actually need the science that badly. Let's just call it good here and head on back to Kerbin. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to bring these guys back to Kerbin. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.